Hi everyone, my name is Janice Johnson. I have a script. I don't have notes because if I don't have a script, I'm going to babble and stutter, and I want to make sure that I'm iterating my thoughts clearly and smoothly to you. All right. So this was my response to Direction 5 readings and prompt. So I feel that this class has had a major impact on my mental understanding of the significance of rhetoric, especially the idea of new rhetoric as theory, as being taught pragmatically and as theory and or included in composition courses. I really enjoyed reading about the other books such as Rhetoric, Old and New, and The War of Words, although it was never published, and the different principles within them to better understand and have an appreciation, which my appreciation was developing for the past couple of weeks for rhetoric. And as Beasley and Seltzer state, and I'm somewhat paraphrasing here, that Burke was testifying to the importance of rhetoric as foundational to the teaching of composition, and by using examples associated with World War II, which just perpetuates the notion that much of anything in this world, especially that which creates or ignites chaos, division, and as I kept reading specifically the range of rhetoric, all I kept thinking of was like rhetoric is drama. Like drama sparks rhetoric, drama, drama, drama. So it perpetuates this notion that much of anything in this world is an example of rhetoric, or rather, everything is rhetoric, or that even causal elements of rhetoric itself constantly surrounds us. I feel like now I see the world differently since taking this class. I even see in California, our first year composition classes for freshmen is called English 1A. I see those classes differently. And as an instructional support assistant and mentee, I come into the classroom thinking, what could this class really look like if rhetorical instruction was embedded? But of course, I'm not going to ask that to the instructors or anyone in the department. I keep those thoughts to myself. And seeing how rhetoric can persuade or dissuade an audience in all its ways would be something I wish I could have learned on a grander scale to improve my argumentative, critical thinking, and analysis skills in composition. With, of course, the principles and devices of and within rhetoric to make sense and be aware of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. As we learn just how relevant rhetoric is, especially in the way which Burke revolutionized or updated the idea of rhetoric. Rhetoric applies to current real life situations, which to me contributes to that idea that rhetoric is designated to as a function, influencing and impacting human behavior through identification, for example. I wanted to bring up a real life connection that I had from reading both works, and that connection was specifically the preaching of Black pastors and Black ministers through the use of realistic function of the rhetoric of identification through the principles of address, or maybe even ingenuousness and cunning. Depends on the pastor and minister. Some rhetorical devices preachers use are devices such as call and response. So a call and response can look like, turn to your neighbor and say this, and you will say that to your neighbor. Or the pastor will say, can I get an amen? And the congregation says, amen. That's a call and response. Signifying, which uses stylized wordplay through direction and wittiness. Storytelling and tonal semantics, where maybe in the beginning of a sermon, it's very calm, it's very focused, it's lecture-like. And towards the end of the sermon, there's shouting, there's yelling, there's just more rhythm and inflection in different words. And this gets the audience hyped, I can even see preachers using some of the devices mentioned by Burke, that Burke spoke of at the CCCC, devices like the bland strategy or spiritualization to evoke and maintain engagement and, just maintain the ability to keep their congregation's minds open and their ears wide to receive their messages that's being preached to them. This also reminds me of Aristotle's Art of Rhetoric, where rhetoric deals with the appeal to audience in a primary sense, where the speaker lists the traits of character with which the speaker should seek to identify himself as a way of disposing an audience favorably towards him. So this is pretty much like what I got out of, there were so many like concepts and principles and theories. And so I just tried to maintain like a broad understanding um, of some of the concepts and just focused in on those things. So I hope you enjoyed my video and what I got from the readings. Thank you for listening, and I cannot wait to watch and listen to the rest of your responses. Thank you.